Good morning, buenos dias. Estamos en Acapulco. I hope I said that right. I'm pretty sure I did. Today is the first day of the Mexican Open tournament, and I thought I'd bring you guys through what a very typical day in my life on the tennis tour looks like. I've definitely done day in the lives at home, but I don't think I've ever done one while I'm on the tour, so I kind of want to just give you guys a more realistic view into what a very typical day is like. Right now it is 8:02 in the morning. I woke up maybe an hour and a half ago because the sunrise here is so beautiful. Because we're in Acapulco, it's so hot during the day here, so they actually can't have any tennis matches during the day. The matches don't start until 5, because if you had players playing in the heat and humidity here during the day, they would all cramp, pass out, and or throw up, which they still kind of do at night sometimes because the humidity here is so intense, but it's definitely safer for them to play at night. So that means that tonight Taylor doesn't go on until sometime after 9 p.m. So he will probably sleep until 11, maybe noon today, which means that either I have to stay in the room and stay dead silent so I don't wake him up, or I have to get out of the room and entertain myself for a few hours. My other option is to stay in bed and watch Netflix until noon, but I don't think that would be very good for me to do all the time. So this is how I kind of get my butt out the door for the day. I've been coming here every morning because you get the bird song and it's quiet and it's beautiful. Basically, I have to come to the gym super early in the morning before all the players wake up. Otherwise, this whole place is packed with players and I get very intimidated, like lifting weights and trying to work out around a bunch of professional athletes. So if I come early, usually before 9, it's pretty empty, usually. I just started lifting heavy again. I could not lift for a few weeks because of like a medical thing. So now we are back in the gym lifting heavy. This is one of those weeks where I don't have access to class pass. There's no workout classes to go to. So I pretty much will come to the gym every day, do lifting. I just go back and forth between upper body and lower body. And then I'll usually always do 12, 3:30. All right, let's hit this upper body. Okay, Taylor is still sleeping, so I came down to have breakfast. I am having chilaquiles, which I have had for breakfast every single day, and I will continue to have for breakfast every single day because it is my absolute favorite breakfast on tour. I honestly look forward to this tournament every year just so I can have this. And I wonder why my stomach is wrecked the whole time that I'm here, but it's so good. I can't stop. I have no self-control.
¿Es tenista usted? ¿Tenista?
Oh, sí, tennis, sí. La novia.
Ah, ya.
Tennis player.
Perfecto.
I guess, yes. Thank you. You guys, I'm trying. I'm really trying. It's been good practice here, but oh my god, it is really hard. I think I have to rescind my goal to be fluent by the end of the year. I'm still like practicing and stuff, but there is zero chance that I am fluent in this language by December. Absolutely not a chance. Fact about me, I actually have like basically zero working memory. I cannot remember anything, and like literally anything ever for the life of me. Can't remember a thing. So trying to retain information like a new language is very difficult. Very, very difficult for me. Oh. I'm just like riding the struggle bus this morning. Oh, really?
That was funny.
Huh? The first like 2 days, I was just feeling a lot of anxiety, like way more than I've experienced in a very long time. Like especially the last couple months, I've just been like go. And now that I'm kind of at this standstill being here and I can't really leave the resort, I don't have anything to distract myself with. I had a call with my therapist and I told him how I'm feeling, and he advised me to sit with my discomfort and sit with those uncomfortable feelings, because all of the anxiety and discomfort that I'm feeling right now is what is always in my subconscious, and all of these things that I'm stressing about and like really overthinking the last couple days are actually always there. I just use going out with friends, and I use alcohol, and going on social media, and doing housework, and being busy with travel. I use all of these things to distract myself from all of these kind of worries and anxieties that are always sitting in the back. But now that I'm here and I don't have anything to distract myself, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling like all of it. And he told me for as long as I can, I should try to stay in Mexico and sit with those uncomfortable feelings, because that's when you can do the real work on yourself. It's just been a very kind of eye-opening last couple of days. It was a very eye-opening conversation. And I sound so stupid for saying like, I'm gonna like grind it out in Mexico and sit with this discomfort because I'm in this beautiful, beautiful place. But that's just what's going on with me right now. So I think we have so many distractions, especially with being online and social media and everything, that, you know, it's so easy for me to constantly distract myself from things that I'm feeling and things that I'm, you know, kind of always like a little bit worried about. But I guess being here, I don't have those distractions, and now I'm feeling it. I took a little break from therapy. That was probably a mistake. I restarted. You guys know I'm a big advocate for therapy. If you have thought about doing therapy or you think it might be a good option for you, I highly recommend checking out BetterHelp. Make it super simple to find a licensed therapist, and it's really flexible, which is nice for me with the crazy travel schedule and like phone call, video. You can do messaging, you can do phone call and video. So kind of whatever suits your needs and whatever you're most comfortable with. BetterHelp can match you to over 30,000 licensed therapists, which is really nice, because something that I always struggled with trying to find a therapist before it was kind of all moved online was finding one in my area. Since it's all online, you can find a much wider range of people and really help kind of match you to the best fit for you, because therapy is kind of like dating. Like you have to find someone who you communicate well with and who really gets you, honestly. They're really easy to get started with. So you just fill out a questionnaire, and typically within 48 hours, they will match you to a therapist. And if it's not the right fit, which sometimes it's not, then you can switch and find a new therapist at no additional cost. Over 4 million people have used this. So if you want to give it a try, go to betterhelp.com/MorganRiddle.
No hubiera pensado que yo me iba.
We are going to lunch, and then Taylor is running the courts already to do treatment, warm up,
Yeah, just get ready.
pre-match routine.
Nada más, no quería saber nada más, nunca más. Pero vos apareciste.
What'd you get?
Cheesecake, my favorite.
Hablaste con una voz tan dulce que perdí la razón y mi corazón. Ay, amor, no te preocupes.
I was watching my Acapulco vlog from last year, and I had so many acne scars and was just like, your girl is struggling. Also, I feel like every time that I go to Miami, my skin just gets bad, which I don't understand, because I feel like the weather there would be so good for your skin. But literally every single time that I go to Miami, I always break out, and I don't understand why. I'm getting ready now while it's still light out, because I wanted to take a little bit of content if I have time, but the sun is setting in like 20 minutes, so I actually I don't know if I'm gonna have time to. And then I'm gonna go to site and get tacos. In my Acapulco video last year, I also did a like get ready with me little makeup tutorial, getting ready for a match, very similar to this. And I was watching and realized my routine basically has not changed at all, which is so obnoxious. I do get a good amount of makeup PR, and I feel like I honestly almost always just end up giving it to my friends, because I'm just a creature of habit, and once I start using something and like it, I'm like, why would I try something else? It is kind of nice to do your makeup after a few days of not doing it though, because then I'm like, oh, She's gorgeous. So, because I haven't talked about it in this video, but I do feel like it's important to mention. So in October of this year, Acapulco, the city that we're in for the tournament right now, had a really devastating hurricane. We actually didn't think that this tournament was going to happen up until just a few weeks ago. We got confirmation, but it kind of looked like for a while that it wasn't gonna happen because the city was in such devastation from this hurricane. And I've never been somewhere that has been like so recently affected by a natural disaster. It was shocking when we landed at the airport. Basically all the windows at the airport had gotten blown out. So they only had one very small section of the airport open. And then like the 20-minute drive to the hotel, we drove past a bunch of other hotels on the way here that have not been fully rebuilt yet. And they are just destroyed. Like they're not open anymore. The entire hurricane here, only like the impact only lasted 2 or 3 hours. And it's really insane to see how much damage it caused. It's actually been quite shocking and quite sad because even the resort that we're staying at right now, only a very small section of the resort is actually open. So you're probably like, well, why the hell would they have a tennis tournament there? We were told that it was really important to the city and the economy to maintain the tournament and keep it here this year. It's good for the city, it's good for tourism within Mexico. So a lot of people that come to the tournament actually come in from Mexico City. And because this is a 500 tournament, it draws in big name players. Like I remember Rafa used to come and play this tournament every year. So it was super important to the city and to the tournament that they make sure that it happened again this year. And there's so many people just like working their butts off to make sure that it happens. I also do want to say, because whenever I mention to people that I'm going to Acapulco, they're like, what? Acapulco is not a super safe city. It's just not. No government officials from the US are allowed to come here because of the immense amount of crime and violence. I just want to be straight up about that. It is a red zone in the US. So if you look up Acapulco on a US government site, it has a do not advise travel. Before we all come to the tournament every year, all players and team members get an email that we are not allowed to leave the resort. Not allowed. We're not advised to leave the resort at all. Basically, the only places that we're allowed to go are the resort that we're on right now and the tournament, and only with tournament transport. There are a bunch of security guards. There are a bunch of armed guards outside basically at all times. Every city has some level of danger. I genuinely think most US cities are more dangerous than places that we travel to internationally. But here, they are just a little extra cautious about it. And last night, my dumbass, this was honestly like really dumb of me and really irresponsible. In past years, I often will go on long walks on the beach in the morning by myself and just listen to a podcast. I've pretty much done that every year that I've come here in the past. Last night during sunset, I wanted to go out and get a video for my Instagram story. So initially I went out, I took photos with my friend Mia, and then when I got back to the room, I was like, oh, I didn't get any video content. I should go get video content. So I go back to the beach basically right after sunset, and as I'm walking back towards the resort, and I'm really only like a 60-second walk from the entrance to the resort, I see these two guys on the beach, and they're like talking, and then they look at me, and then they're talking. They both have backpacks, and one of them drops his backpack and starts walking towards me, and I'm just like, you know, I hate men. I hate them. I don't trust them. I get skeeved out by everything. So like I'm immediately on alert. So I immediately veer left and start walking up towards the shore. Basically there's a long stretch of sand, and then you're kind of on grass, and then there's this stone wall that leads to the entrance of the resort. So I take a left, and then immediately this guy turns too. So he's walking basically like parallel with me away from where the water line is. I don't know, I feel like girls just have a gut instinct that I'm like, okay, time to run. So I start basically like sprinting up the beach, and like I said, it's really not far. There are a group of guys just all kind of sitting under this tent drinking beer, and I'm like, ayúdame. And these three guys see this guy walking towards me and kind of like get what's going on. They jump up, start yelling at him in Spanish. I didn't understand any of it. And then there was a lifeguard from the resort who happened to be on the beach, and then he ran up. But this guy was still like, he just wasn't leaving. He was like staring directly into my soul. It was the creepiest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And then the lifeguard grabs me and he's like, I'm gonna escort you back to the resort. So we start walking up, but then the guy starts like following me and the lifeguard. So then he starts blowing his whistle and then he takes out his walkie-talkie and he walkie-talkies, and all the security from the resort come down, and it was like a whole thing. Then this guy didn't go back to his friend. He went and hid behind a tree. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And I feel stupid because we were told not to leave the resort at all. Like, I almost got fucking mugged for an Instagram story. Are there any cities where it's only women, no men allowed? Does that exist? Can someone build that? I don't know how these girls like pack on blush and look like cute little adorable baby dolls. I look like sick. I did get sent this. It's the Tarte Maneater Satin Blush Cheek Plump, and it is very similar to the Rare liquid blush where you put like a little pencil poke and it's like, when I go to the site, I'm gonna meet up with my friend Mia, who I actually just met at Australian Open this year, but she's dating a Italian player, and her and I are gonna go, I think, meet up and eat and have drinks before the match because our boyfriends are playing each other tonight. Time to pick out an outfit. So it is already 9:36 p.m. I am just about to leave for the courts. I don't think Taylor will be on until 11, maybe a little later, depending how this match goes. I was gonna try to dress cute and wear this little pink kukai dress, but I feel like I'm not gonna be asleep until 2 or 3 a.m. tonight. I really just don't feel like doing that, and I just wanna be comfy because I'm gonna be so tired. Lily and I are going to take transport over to the courts right now, and hopefully the taco place is still open because I really want to get some tacos. They kind of gypped me a little on the chamoy though. Usually the chamoy is like dripping down. We are just waiting for the match to start. The music's so loud.
Please, your arm. Another again.
This actually might be the worst I've felt in my entire life. I got food poisoning earlier this week, mildly, last night. Like the furthest thing from a mild food poisoning. During the third set yesterday, my stomach started hurting so bad. Like it genuinely felt like someone had stabbed me. As soon as I get home, toilet. I did not sleep. I could not stop throwing up. This hotel room was like that one scene in Bridesmaids. I did say I was gonna give this is a very realistic day in my life. I think it was the tacos that got me. Actually, surprisingly, last year in Acapulco, I didn't have any like stomach food issues, but like 70% of the players last year had the shits. So during a bunch of matches last year, players would have to take bathroom breaks, literally go shit their pants, and then come back and play. I think this is probably maybe the 6th or 7th time that I've gotten food poisoning while we're on tour. It's not necessarily that the food is bad. My gut microbiome, the bacteria just is not used to the bacteria that is in the food here. So someone who lives here can eat the same meal as me and they're not gonna get sick, but I'm gonna get sick just because I don't have the correct bacteria that like works with the food here. So that was really unfortunate. Doctor came, I took like 6 pills for like nausea, stomach, whatever. So now I'm about to get on a 10-hour travel day. We have to stop in a layover through Mexico City, and then we get back into LA at like 11 p.m. I think I'm good, but this is probably going to be one of the worst travel days ever. And then we're back in LA, and then we have Indian Wells, so looking forward to that. I'm gonna go home and recoup recover.